We have our final panel of the day. Not the final presentation. We do have a fantastic film screening afterwards. But I just want to mention that Dana is out there.
I hate this thing. Stupid.
Boo.
Dumb. Who likes touching their phone? Right? No one? It feels bad. It feels bad to do. Touching the computer? That used to kick ass, right? Not anymore. No more fun than we had down there. So, let's get into it. All right. Technology is so easily drawn into metaphor. Bjork once described the inside of her CRT television as a tiny little city. When we explore these old forms of technology now, it's easy to feel like that tiny little city has become ruinous and much harder to understand. And that is why we should be exploring the ruins. I'm just going to erase this now. So basically, I'm just going to kind of chat now, because I haven't done much book learning like many of the folks in this room. So I apologize if I'm lacking in 4-syllable words, but keep it trucking. So the computer, as I see it, is a portal to the end of time. Pretty much the experiences on a computer are of ever-updating, continuous certainty. There's like ones, zeros, trues, and falses, and you can kind of go from being in favor to being not in favor. It's kind of like life in a lot of ways. Like it's almost like a digital life, but not real, and at the end of time. Let's move on. So modern technology has wedged itself in such a space in culture where it's inseparable from us, offering to simplify every step and commodify every experience behind the digital serfdom of paywalls and subscription models. As this corporatization of the online experiences washes out the ability for true aesthetic and creative expression to be supported, and every successful online endeavor is backed by a politicized cryptocurrency nation-state, the promises of the internet to bring in a new age of liberation from the system that surrounds us has passed, and the people once again and people start to once again look for meaning around them. What is the solution for those who still want to make an impact within their art community or make things that can find a connection to the real humans on the other side of the screen? The answer is post-computer art making. Right now, I'm playing a video that I recorded of a camera pointed at a TV to create a feedback loop. That's all been taken onto a VHS tape. Some of the glitching and popping of it comes from interference from both audio and this titler, which is meant to be showing some of the different images on the screen. But like with most technology, these things are faulty, they break pretty easily, and they're also made of transistors, resistors, little pieces of technology that can be sourced from other parts, other things. You can fix or break this technology kind of at your whim, and it lets you start to see it as more of a ritualistic practice. It's if the internet and technology as we use it today is a portal to the end of time that we use to sort of ritualistically perform sacrifices of our ego for the algorithm in the hopes of receiving some sort of reward that erodes at our soul, essentially. But when you work in these physical, real spaces with electricity, something that is inaccurate, something that is fallible, something that can be messed with, you start to feel that physical connection. And in many ways, this can be compared to high magic and low magic systems. High magic systems are systems of magic, typically in fiction, that pertain to sacrifice, that pertain to ritual use, that are attempts at changing your, actually physically changing your reality or your connection to reality. Low magic systems are more based in the everyday. They're things that happen by chance. They're not powerful. They're charms and spells rather than large effects that you're going for. And I think that this perfectly encapsulates that effect. The things that you get from working within that not only start to change yourself in small ways, but they connect you more to the actual experience that you're having. Alright, also, this has become aesthetically relevant. It's hard to watch any modern music video, really take in a lot of modern media without running into VHS-styled effects, VHS retro technology, and this nostalgic craze for analog VHS-style visuals has created more separation. It kind of makes it feel like it's being commodified and being commercialized in a way that drains the soul out of it. And it's this action, this draining, really, that I think if we let it persist, will take the magic of these small electronic systems that can still be repaired, that can still have the person behind them controlling them rather than kind of being controlled by it. But that's a learning process. It's something that you have to engage with directly. There's, I think, an interest in what the internet provides and what modern technology provides is quickness, is like a lack of waiting and instant gratification. It will eat any emotion you have without question and cater to that emotion until you're sick of it, and then give you a new emotion that it can hold on to you with. That's sort of the attention death spiral. This ability for algorithms and for the internet as a whole to take a hold of you and not let you go until you are completely wrapped up in your digital footprint, as though that footprint makes up the whole of your being, which is just an incredibly rigid structure to affect you in the real world when it is being sourced from someplace that doesn't actually exist. And so it is by engaging with technology that is faulty and that doesn't work properly that you're able to break that spiral and to take moments to, when these things malfunction and go wrong, I can spend time finding out, is it the voltage that is moving improperly? Is there one of my chords, did I step on it and now it's frayed a little bit? It's a series of problem solving that you can then start to apply to the problems in your own life, rather than restarting an Adobe program 18 times in a row and then suddenly it works now. And you're like, wow, thanks. All of my problems are solved by happenstance, by some code working properly. And these spaces are relegated in code, and there are more digital versions of this technology that are being developed. You go on eBay or Etsy and just look up any video synthesizing device, and you'll find people that are using Raspberry Pis to, write code onto an operating system that can then do all of this stuff in its own little pocket computer. But even those are generally trying to mirror the experiences that you're getting from working with all of this, and are being made in small batches by one or two people, teams of very small groups. I'm kind of just positing and rambling. The computer is the portal that opens the end of time and space, an ever-updating instant. We gotta remember that. Ritual, just more ritual magic stuff. For them and any different forms of ritual practice attempting to bend chaotic will are, pretty much one and the same. You think of sacrificing a goat for a harvest versus forcing a video that you worked on into a specific aspect ratio, a specific amount of time, finding the most clippable moment of something to keep fueling this system of chaos that keeps the attention of other people grasped. Really, like, what I mean is that in modern time, nothing has value the way that your attention has value. It's what gives corporations data that they can then use to extract value without, I don't get a tax break from going on Instagram and like giving them a bunch of personal information that they use to help narrow advertising routes that allows products to be sent to other places. But what I can do is break apart 5 broken VHS players, take all of the individual pieces out of them, and start to work with that in a way that lets me build something that is entirely my own and that can be updated as I see fit. And that is why I think it's important to stop using your computer and do everything with archaic technology that will frustrate you, that will lead to isolation, because you will have to learn it. It's a hermetic practice. It's like, getting put up in a garden by a wealthy king, and you got to live in a shed, but you made the most beautiful garden for people to look at. It is a practice that requires yourself to be hidden away at times, but then the things that you can create will benefit people broadly. It can inspire your community. You can look for the people that connect with you on the individual way that the fuzziness of a video that you made connected with them, rather than liking liking the message that they sent you and liking a comment that they posted on your video. So that it's rather than participating in the ritual, you can actually start to make and create things, and just open yourself up to yourself and to the world. It can be, it's a schizophrenic practice in that it can be incredibly minute or as macro as you want it to be. And it's great, it's good, and you should do it, and stop using your computer, just write stuff on paper, and then make a newsletter or something.